Oh boy. I hope you guys are excited as I am for this because I have been waiting for this to come in. This is the reason why I don't use the E90 anymore. I sold my Godspeed coils a while back, last year. I put on some stock suspension and the front struts blew almost about a month in. So ever since then I have not used the E90 all that much because the front end is really floppy. Watch this. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So after some of the money that I've made, I decided I think it's fair enough for me to buy some coilovers for the E90 again. Now that I'm in a little bit better financial situation, I can afford to fix the E90. This is gonna fix the E90. I really do not mind the E90. I actually really like it. I put some money into fixing the little things that were wrong with it. Now this is like the bigger thing that's wrong with it. I still need tires for this car, but those shouldn't be too bad. I can go get those on credit. So yeah, I finally got coilovers for the E90. I'm excited to throw these on because I'm excited to have the car back actually. I don't think this should take too long. Literally, the fronts are like 3 bolts and then 1 on the bottom. And then the rears are 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom as well. I'm gonna get started. I'm hoping to use a car later today. I'm actually busy later today, so I'm hoping I can use this car. I really miss the car. I really want to use it, so I'm hoping I can use it. One of my favorite YouTubers really is into Yellow Speed. They live by Yellow Speed racing coilovers. I've done some research. A lot of people say they don't like them. Well, quite a few people say they don't like them. Not that much, but it's still, I think it's because they're not BC coils. They're not Fortunatos. I think that's why they don't like them, but I mean, for the price of the coilover and for the discount that I got, might as well. I'll link a website and I'll put you guys the discount code that I used. It's not my discount code because I don't think I could get one. I could probably message Yellow Speed and see if I could get you guys a discount code, but I really don't think I'd be able to do it for you guys. So I'm just gonna link the discount code that I used, and that's going to save you actually quite a bit. I think I saved $100 on a pair of $1,000 coilovers, so not too shabby. One thing I did read is that these do not have a preload set to them. I don't get why people bash on them. They look pretty decent actually. These are the adjustable dampening. I wanted adjustable dampening. These are extreme lows. Well, Yellow Speed Racing's extreme lows, they call them super lows. So I will be able to get the height that I wanted out of the E90 before with the Godspeeds. The Godspeeds were a little too big, so I could not lower it all that much without having to loosen the preload. Not the ideal way to lower a car. So that is why I spent a little bit more this time and I got some lower coilovers, some shorter coilovers. So I think these are 8 and 12s, 8 in the front, 12 in the rear. So kind of like the E46's setup. This is gonna help with the wheels because the wheel used to rub on the quarter panel. Hopefully with the stiffer spring in the back, that wheel doesn't bump up on bumps and rub the quarter panel. I'm gonna pull these wheels off later this year. I'm gonna get them powder coated. But either way, I don't want these rubbing. I'm gonna get to lifting the car. We're going to start throwing these on. This really should not take that long. I really wanna say about an hour, hour and a half, and then maybe another hour aligning. I have to align the car because that's just one thing that goes into this. As for the rear's kind of already low, so I might just try to equal this height so I don't have to align the rears. If I have to align the rears, then oh well. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to shoot for that fitment in the rear, and then the front, we're definitely gonna drop the fronts. Also, another thing I need to be replacing, the sensor. My whole car is being weird about it. So that's another thing I gotta swap. I have that one. Hopefully the other side isn't blown because I only bought one. Okay, I decided 1, to look for the right side, 2, make sure that the preload's the same, and 3, make sure it's all the same height. All right, one coil's on. I am gonna go to the other side, just knock it out really quickly, and then I'll come back, show you guys the height, because it takes a while to set up the camera. So I'm just gonna knock it out real quick, and then I will show you guys the results. Way better. I'm so much happier with this stance. Yeah, I miss this. The other side did have a blown speed sensor, so I'm gonna have to go pick that up. Not a big deal, I'll just swap it another day. I still have to the rears. The rears are not that hard besides the struts. The struts are kind of annoying because I have to pull out the whole trunk interior, but the springs literally just go on. I drop the bolt for the strut, the rear end drops, and then the spring comes out. So that one's pretty simple. The fronts are the more complicated. Like I said, in the rears is just the struts that take a while, but the springs are really quick and easy. I think I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I'm gonna go drive it and let the springs sit. They're gonna sit a little bit. For the rears, I might lift the rear just a little bit more, just because, like I said, that wheel likes to rub on the fender well. I'm gonna adjust the stiffness on the struts, and then like that, this is set. For the rears, I think I'm gonna stiffen them up all the way, just because it's the rear. Like I said, my rear fitment's terrible, so I'm going to stiffen those up in the rear. The front, I might loosen them up, probably like 10 clicks out of, I think, 32. I think I have 32 way adjusting, so I'm gonna do 10 because that was really smooth on the E46. And then in the rears, I think I did 8. I'll adjust bump stiffness as I go, as I feel the car. And but for right now, this is what we're gonna leave it at, is 10 and 12, I think, or 8 and 12. I don't know, we'll see. In case you guys were wondering, this is why I need new tires. That's wire right there, and that's wire right there. I don't know why this is such a big tire, but it goes through these tires so much quicker. My theory would be a bigger tire lasts longer, but with this car, for some reason, that's not the case. A bigger tire does not last as long. I know it's a rear-wheel drive, but the rear tires go through, by the time I go through a set of fronts, I go through 3s in the rears. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on there, but that's the issue with this car. I'm gonna have to figure something out, because these aren't expensive tires, but to get them mounted and balanced are kind of expensive. And yeah, tires add up. This is what I said about the rear struts, that they're annoying. You literally have to pull apart this right here to get back in there. That's the most annoying part, but literally, once you do that, put one bolt down there that you take off, it drops the bottom end, the spring comes out, put the new spring in, and the coilover goes in easier, it's smaller. Then you just lift the control arm onto the strut, the new strut. We're replacing this strut as well. I think it's blown as well. Honestly, the rears are a lot quicker than the fronts for the most part. Not too bad, boys. I'm happy with it. I'm actually really happy with the fronts. The fronts are at the height that I always wanted them. A little bit of tuck, not too much. I might have issues rubbing the headlight there now, but we'll fix that later if we do. As for the rears, I forgot to adjust the dampening, so I have to reach back here. The cool thing about these, I'm pretty sure these are for the rears because of this. They have an extension for adjusting the dampening, so I'm probably going to leave these in. That way I don't have to be taking off that plastic cover to adjust dampening. I'll just throw those in, leave them hanging a little bit over, and that should be fine. I think this side's actually a little higher now. They're about the same. The ground might be uneven as well, but I have one more side to finish, and then I'm completely done with the car. I'm gonna knock out the other side real quick, and then I'll show you guys the results. We gotta take it for a test drive, let the coils set, and then we could come back and adjust, and then we have to do an alignment. All right, she's back down on the ground. Time for the drive. Let's go sit these springs. I'm not gonna line it yet because I'm gonna wait for the springs to sit. Everything's gonna move once the springs sit. I'm gonna drive it just for a bit, not very far. Usually the springs sit within the first 500 miles. I'll do an alignment after this drive, and then an alignment here within the next couple of weeks. I think I should be able to put 500 miles in a couple weeks. So I'm gonna try to daily this, and I will do the alignment later here in, like I said, 2 weeks. I currently have 2 lug nuts on every wheel. So, possibility is the wheels falling off? not that big, but like I said, we do only have 2 lug nuts. I'm not gonna take it on the freeway. I'm literally just gonna take it for a quick drive, let everything sit, and everything will settle, like I said, within the first 500 miles. Like I said, one of the wheel speed sensors is out, so I gotta replace that. And oddly enough, I don't have a, oh yeah, I do have the brake light. Brake light is on. I found out that that sensor is completely ripped. This isn't like the BC coils where it has the Swift springs. I did just go extreme lows, so it is just extremely low. I can lower the car, I think about another inch, easy. I mean, it's just a daily driver, nothing crazy. I literally bought high quality coils just for a high quality car. I don't want to have issues again with coilovers, so that is why I went with some decently expensive coilovers. I don't want to mess with suspension here within the next 60, 50, maybe 80,000 miles. Those Godspeeds, they were good coils. I'm not gonna lie, those rode really smoothly, but I could not lower the car anymore, and that was kind of bugging me. Other than that, everything was fine. It is a little stiff, like I said. They are stiff springs, they're stiffer springs. So I'm just going to leave them as it is. They're going to sit after a while. I'm gonna do a quick alignment just so the car does not wear out the tires. The rears, I'm going to try to take off some of that camber, but I'm going to also try to push the wheel in as much as I can. If not, we're gonna have to work on the rear quarter panels. That's gonna be a whole nother video, but right now I'm just gonna align the car real quick and we'll call it a day. I just spent the last 2, maybe 3 hours aligning the front. The passenger side tie rod was completely stuck. Figured it bottomed out, so I had to cut it a little bit, but I'm done with it now. After I spent that much time on the front alignment, I'm realizing I want to lower it some more. The rear is tucking pretty decently. The wheel's almost to the lip, and here we have about a 2, maybe 3 inch gap. Like I said, I just spent like 2, maybe 3 hours on the front, so I really don't want to mess with it again. Like I really don't want to mess with it again, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna leave it for another day. Another day all over the front, another inch. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I've missed the car. That is why I put the money into it. That's why I've been putting money into it again, because I miss it. It really does need some work. Not a whole lot of work, but it does need some work. So that is why I'm picking back up with it again. I was thinking about selling it, but I mean, for the most part, it's a good car. I'm thinking about putting the 3-stage intake manifold on the N52, and honestly, that should bump my power up quite a bit. As of right now, the car's really decent, but like I said, I'm gonna get into it a little bit again. I'm not exactly sure how long we're gonna keep it, but for the most part, I do enjoy the car. I do like it, and I do miss it. I think I'm gonna pick up my mess, call it a day. I'm completely exhausted. I have nothing else to do to the car. Like I said, I'm gonna try to bring this car back. I miss it. I really do want it. I really did not want to let it go when I parked it, but I couldn't afford it at the time. But between this car and the Subaru, this car is definitely a lot cleaner. That's what I like about it. It's a lot cleaner, it's a lot classier. The Subaru, it's like rough. It's definitely like JDM. This is like a luxury. I'm gonna end the video here, guys. Hopefully I have enough content for today. I don't remember vlogging much. I just remember working. I wanted to get this taken care of as soon as possible. So I honestly, if this was a shitty vlog, please forgive me. I just wanted to get this done. I wanted to get this done earlier, but I did not get it done. If you made it to the end, I greatly appreciate you. If you guys like the video, go down and hit that like button. Comment down below. I'm always active in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.